Welcome back to the cheese store in Beverly Hills. We got a few cheeses to open for you guys today. So let's get into it. Let's cut some cheese open. Here's an old favorite of mine, old cheese store favorite. This is a cheese called Abbaye du Mont. This is a Trappist style cheese, washed rind. It's been being made by monks in this one monastery in Flanders since around 1880 at the very latest. Nice, like funky cheese. And you'll start to see as we get it open, you have a deep sort of reddish color to the rind. This is from the brine they washed the cheese in. It allows beneficial bacteria to grow on the outside, kind of mellow out the flavor of the cheese inside. This is kind of the granddaddy recipe to some cheeses like Port Salut that you might know already. But this one tends to be a little stronger, a little more hearty. Very, very old school cheese. You can see texturally, this is something that we consider a softer cheese, but it still kind of holds its shape. And then it'll always taste a little bit more salty as you get towards the rind. The rind's just made of the cheese itself, and then it's brushed with that brine, and that allows some other microbes to grow on the outside there. Totally edible rind, and I prefer to eat it. Gives it a little more oomph. Pairings for a cheese like this, I always like Rieslings. I like mountain Chardonnays from either Flanders itself or from Syrah, or from Savoie. And then this one is a super famous cheese from Norway. It's called Jarlsberg. This is a very modern cheese. It was invented in the 50s as a sort of cross between the recipes of a Dutch Gouda and a Swiss Emmentaler. And by combining the qualities of both, you get a really like easy sliceable texture. Kind of the origin of what we call baby Swiss these days. Super smooth, super light. One of the lightest, easiest Swiss styles you can get your hands on. It pairs really nicely with Sauvignon Blanc. If you like Swiss cheese, this is a really good one to grab. It's a classic. And if you think Swiss cheese is usually a little strong for you, give this one a try anyway, because it might not be as sharp as you're expecting. And this, you may have seen us open some of these wheels of Clothbound cheddar before. This is a really special one. This is the Cabot Clothbound cheddar, but this is the Black Label version of the Cabot Clothbound cheddar. This one's more seasonal. This one's more intensely aged at the cellars at Jasper Hill in Vermont. Nice, dusty wheel of cheese. Score it with the knife.
I mean, that's really, really nice. Yeah, this will lay it down really nice.
One more layer of cloth to get through. And here she is. This is the first of this year's batches of Cabot Clothbound, of the Black Label Cabot Clothbound I've been able to try. Do the honors with me here.
And you have right there.
These are going to be super brothy, super nutty. Almost reminding you more of a Parmigiano or an aged Gouda than most cheddar you've had in the past. So something really special we bring in for the holidays every year. Definitely pair this with white wine with good acidity. You can also pair this with a nice, like, stronger ale or even a imperial stout. It'll do really nicely. I am going to break this down a little further. You have to get this down into at least a quarter wheel in order to really sell it. Helps just to keep the cheese protected, in better refrigeration. Let's see if this twists my knife again. That's some lovely breakage. And now we'll get the cloth bandages off.
That's like where the cut. But yeah, we can totally have raw blue cheese. But Gruyere, this is all Gruyere right here.
Really pretty.
No.
This is always a favorite. Super, like, Parmesan-y. Tons of that tyrosine crystallization. All right, that's all we have for you today. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll clean up and have my breakfast.